Hello, welcome back. Sorry about last week. If you're one that watches waits for every episode, I wish I had like a really cool excuse about something awesome happening with us selling our house, but the truth is we ended up going out of town last week. Kind of, I mean, it wasn't like super last minute, but I didn't really have it planned out ahead of time as I was planning when I was going to record these episodes. And then I just forgot. I've been on my period. So I'm just giving myself a lot of grace, and I appreciate you doing the same. But it just literally was just poor planning and then just me being on my period. So hi, I'm here now though. Um, if you're new here, we talk about periods. We talk about a lot of things. I just share pretty much anything that I feel like is has been helpful for me to learn to help me have a better and more fulfilling and more joy filled life, in hopes that it'll do the same for you. So that is what we do here. And before we get started on today's topic, I just am going to do a shameless plug here for the skincare that I offer and also the makeup that I offer. Um, I have been using Saint makeup for, gosh, going on almost 5 years now. And I don't wear as much of it as often anymore since I switched to this skincare line that I'll share about in a little bit. Because I just really love how my skin looks. And so I don't feel the need to wear makeup as often. But when I do wear the makeup, I wear Saint makeup and I really love it. It's very customizable. You can have everything that you need or want in one palette. And so, like, one compact foundation, blush, eyeshadow, bronzer, everything and anything that you could want will fit in one compact. So it's really, really nice to have it just streamlined like that. And it's also really good quality. So very clean. And so that's an option for makeup. And then for skincare, I switched to Olavita skincare in June. It is now October, and I have just loved this skincare. I thought that I had good skin before, but like, yeah, I've totally seen a really big. I've seen a difference in my skin since I switched to this skincare line, and I just absolutely love the quality of it. It is, in my opinion, probably the highest quality there is on the market today. I say that very loosely because I am not a skincare connoisseur. I will say that up front, but from what I know of this skincare, it is just incredible. It's almost unbelievable the amount, the standard of quality that they have. Like, to call it organic or non-toxic is like, would be like a slam also. Almost like, it is just truly so it's based from, I won't take too long, but it's based on from olive trees. Olive trees live for thousands and thousands of years, and so they have kind of tapped into that and discovered why that is, and they're using that same essence that these olive trees have in the skincare, and it's just amazing. It's the top ingredients, but then not only the way that they harvest, I guess you could say, the ingredients is just so incredible. Like, it's so everything is bioactive, which to me just means like it is as close to it could be being it could be to be like how it was in alive in nature. It's as close to that as something could be in a bottle. So it is really, really amazing. Okay. So if you're interested in either of those, you can go to my website, thegenuineginger.com, and there will be a pop-up that will, you can select which of those you're interested in learning more about, and it'll take you to the right page for that and to get help with that. You can also find me on social media, either Mackenzie Quintana or the .genuine.ginger. I'm pretty much one of those two names on any social media platform that I'm on, and so you can reach out to me there, and I would love to help you get started with either of those or answer any questions that you have about that. Okay, so shameless little plug there. I appreciate those of you who do support me, especially right now where we are, trying to save up so that we can move and stuff. Any little bit helps a lot, and so I just really appreciate it. Okay, so today's topic is one that we've talked about before, but I kind of have a different outlook on it, and it is slowing down. I think we need this reminder. So much. But I'm not just gonna ramble on and on and on about slowing down, because I have been noticing something. I have been noticing something lately, and I have noticed that 99% of my problems come from me being in a hurry. That might not be completely factual. I don't know about 99%, but I have noticed that a lot of my personal, points of contention or struggle or just upset in my personal life come from me being in a hurry. And I'm going to share two examples, very different, on a very different scale. So I shared a while back that I want to move. We want to move to a city in the forest, in the mountains, with better weather, better scenery, more opportunities for us to be outdoors, and that has been a desire of my heart for a while now. And we finally decided, okay, we're ready. Let's do this. And we put our house on the market, and it has been on the market, and it has not sold, and it has not sold as quickly. Things have not moved as quickly as I hoped that they would and wanted them to. So translation, what does that mean? I was in a hurry, right? I was in a hurry to move, and we weren't moving. And so I was frustrated. I was in a suffering state. I was upset. I was mad. I was grumpy. I was just, I've shared this already, right, in past episodes, how I was. And basically it boils down to the fact that I was in a hurry. I wasn't patient enough, right? Patience, opposite of patience. Well, I don't know if the exact opposite, but one opposite of patience could be being in a hurry, right? I was in a hurry. I was in a hurry to move. It wasn't happening on the timeline that I wanted, and so I was frustrated. That created some contention in my life. That created some upset in my life, because I was in a hurry to move, and I wasn't willing to slow down and accept God's timeline. I wasn't willing to slow down and accept the things as they were. I wasn't willing to just be present in the day-to-day of where I was in the day-to-day in my life, and find the good things in the day-to-day. I was just in a hurry for the next thing, instead of just being able to be present and really find joy and gratitude in my day-to-day. So that is kind of a big, maybe like a bigger scale view of this. Another maybe smaller scale, but I feel like probably as just as big of magnitude, is this, which I've noticed this, especially today. I've been noticing this with my kids, but over the last few weeks, I've been noticing this. And so an example today, I decided to take my kids to the library, which is not something that I do often. I try to avoid taking my kids anywhere, to be honest, which is something that I'm working on, because I do desire to get out and do things with my kids. But I decided to take them to the library, and we were getting in the car, and we had moved car seats over to my husband's truck, because we traveled in his truck last weekend. And so we were, seating arrangements weren't what our go-to is. And so there was a little bit of, one child in particular was having a little bit of a hard time adjusting to that. And in my mind, it was just like, who cares? Sit down, let's go, right? And so, but he didn't want to sit in his spot because it was dirty. And I just sat there, and in the past, I know that, and I'm sure that this will happen again in the future, but I would have just been like, who cares? Just sit down, get your buckle on. I'm leaving. We're going. Like, or I would have got into this. See, this is why I I never want to leave the house with you guys, because it's just so hard, and you just make things make things take so much longer, and it's just you make such a big deal out of such little things. Or I would have got into this, like, even just in my own head of like, ugh, see, this is why we shouldn't have done this, or this is why, other things, because we were going to the library later in the day than I had envisioned us going earlier in the day because of other things. And so I would have, got into this downward spiral and maybe like spat out at other kids and been like, see, if you wouldn't have taken so long doing that, then we could have, we wouldn't be in this situation right now, blah, blah. But instead of going into all of that in our dialogue and that, downward spiral of my thoughts, I just sat there and I just told myself, I'm in no hurry. There's no rush. What do I have to get back to do? Literally nothing. Well, I needed to record this podcast, but I knew that I knew that going to the library wasn't going to take us 3 hours. I knew that I would still have time. I knew that I needed to make dinner, but I knew that I would have time to do that. I knew that there was in the grand scheme of things, there was no hurry. I could sit there and wait the 20 or 30 seconds that it would take for this child to come to the realization that it was okay for him to sit there, or to come up with another plan. I could talk him through the things that he was feeling and, help him problem solve navigate this situation that was new for him. Like, I had the time to do that. I could do that. There was no hurry. And the truth of the matter is, even if there was something that I needed to get back for, or, if we were running late for something, I have kind of decided that I would rather be late and arrive there in good spirit, with my kids being happy and myself being calm, rather than like rushing everyone to get out the door and me yelling and kids, feeling pressured and scared and all the things, and get there on time. Right? Like that's my opinion. Of course, if I'm trying to get somewhere on time, I try to plan ahead so that we're not in that situation, but life happens, kids, and so when I'm in that situation, I try to anyways. It's very ingrained in me that we need to be on time, and that's more important than the energy in which we arrive, the emotional state in which we arrive. But so even if we were like technically in a hurry, the time that it could take me to help this child, literally probably 30 seconds, maybe a minute or two tops, right? Like, if we really timed ourselves, that's probably how long it would take for most situations to be derailed from something that could become an escalated problem, right? Whereas if I was just like, hurry, sit down, we gotta go, like, he would have been more upset. It could have very likely turned into this whole big thing that could very possibly have taken way more than 30 seconds to 1 or 2 minutes, right? Plus, he would be upset, I would be upset, the other kids would probably be feeling, the energies of that as well. Like, we'd get to the library and it would just be like, ugh, like, we all know how that goes. It's always like, that was really dumb, I could have handled that better, right? So, what did that come down to? I was in a hurry. Even though I had no reason to be in a hurry. I had nothing that I needed. There wasn't an appointment for us to be at the library. There wasn't anything that I needed to get back within 30 minutes to be able to do. But I was in a hurry for no reason, which is another thing. I feel like we are just like, that's our default now, is to be in a hurry. Even for things that we don't need to be in a hurry for. Like, start to notice that. And I bet you will notice. I bet you will agree that you find yourself just rushing through things even when there's no need. And it's simply because we live in such a fast-paced society that, like, that's just how our subconscious has been programmed for us to do things, is to do them quickly. But it's not necessary. And in fact, it's most of the time it's counterintuitive, and it's actually causing a lot of extra problems that we don't need to have. And so like patience. Think about, all the times that you get impatient with your kids or with yourself or with your spouse. Why? Why are you impatient with them? It's usually because they're not doing something fast enough, or because you're in a hurry, or, you're just wanting it done now. You're wanting them here now. You're wanting this, it's from what I have been observing in myself over the last few days, 9 out of 10 times that I am feeling impatience with myself, my spouse, or my kid, or even, someone else, it's because I'm in a hurry. And 9 times out of 10, there's no real need to be in a hurry. There's no real, oh my gosh, a truck is going to hit them, we need to hurry. That rarely happens, right? But yet we find ourselves being in a hurry all the time. Hurry, we got to do it. Hurry, come in and say this. Hurry, come in and do that. Hurry, let's get your schoolwork done. Hurry, let's do this. But in reality, we have all the time in the world. And even when there are lots of things that we need to get done, prioritize the most important things, and the things that don't happen because you did take a little bit more time and you weren't quite as hurried, that's okay that you don't get them done. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to do it all. Slow down. Patience comes from not being in a hurry. I'm going to say it again. I have learned that it is easier to be patient when I am not feeling like I need to be in a hurry. Patience comes from not being in a hurry, not being rushed. And that is true on a small scale, and it's true on a large scale from what I have experienced in my life just in the last, little bit. So there's no rush. There's no need to be in a hurry. Just take a deep breath. Oh, that's another thing that I've noticed. And I've known this for a while. I had a mentor that said, this is the last little thing I'm going to end with. I had a mentor. Well, I didn't actually mentor with her, but I was watching a masterclass that she did, and she said, if you can control your emotions, if you can control your breathing, you can control your emotions. And lately, as I have been practicing not getting impatient, one thing that I have noticed is when I do start to feel that impatience building up in me, or that frustration with, usually it's around my children and getting schoolwork done, or just, being overstimulated, whatever it is. But if I can just pause and literally just take a good deep breath, within that instant of me taking a deep breath, it just resets me, it grounds me again, and I am not quite so impatient. I'm just able to handle things a little bit better. And sometimes I have to do it, several times within a few minutes, but just that one simple practice of taking a deep breath. If you can control your breath, if you can control your breathing, you can control your emotions. So just breathe. And don't be in a rush. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you next week. I will promise that, because I'm probably going to record next week's episode right now. So we will see you then.